23, married. Been reading since I was 3. I made a video responding to the My Point video where I made nice and made an intelligent response and all that, but I've decided not to upload it as I am, for lack of a better phrase, totally pissed off. I'm going to show you the clips, a few clips of that. Roll at me. You use the arguments that vampires do not exist so Stephanie can do anything she wants with them, when in fact, while vampires do not exist, real accounts and real beliefs of vampires have existed out of the fictional world for long periods of time, and while one writing a novel about vampires can do most of anything, one reading a vampire novel would expect the author to adhere somewhat to true myth, and doing more than a smidgen of research before tackling a novel. You cannot expect a whole group of people to suddenly agree with her standpoint, trying to change years of popular fiction and non-fictional mythologies. Also, no one has to accept anything that someone else has wrote, and the knocking of one book off of a list by another says nothing about the quality of the writing. Only the quality of the people reading. Stop calling Stephanie Meyer a genius. She's not a genius. She's not close to a genius. And I'm pretty sure you calling her a genius is making people like Einstein and Plato roll over in their graves. She's hardly original. A vampire in love with a human sounds like every vampire everything to me. The only difference is killing and blood and violence, which is awesome and we get none of. Twilight never climaxes. It's like I'm having sex with, I don't know, Shia LaBeouf, or better yet, Paul Rudd. And he keeps going at it, and when I'm about to make happy, my grandma calls. So we go at it again in a different position, and my husband calls. And so on for the length of about 4 novels, and so we try the first position again, and I tell all my friends about it, so he gets pissed and says he'll never have sex again. I'm talking about Midnight Sun there. I would also like to say of your video where you rant about the Midnight Sun pirating, I think it's ridiculous that you expect people not to leak something. It's just ridiculous that she got in such a bitch fit about it. People have been pirating for years, and you don't see Metallica stop recording or movies stopping production because somebody pirated their shit. I'm sorry for this, and I know you're gonna get pissy, but Stephanie Meyer's being a brat. I'm not thankful to her. She should be thankful to me and her millions of other fans for buying her shit and making her famous instead of her being a stay-at-home mom and whatever else she did, because I don't really care, because I don't care about her background. If she wants to stop writing good, and if she's a brat, she shouldn't have people worship her anyways, because it's ridiculous and bratty that she should just stop writing and feel like stop writing and kill off the Collins because her precious little book got leaked. She was nothing and nobody knew her, and she got famous suddenly because people were reading her shit, and she should be thankful to them. We should not be thankful to her. I mean, technically we should both be thankful for each other, but she should be thankful enough just because one person leaked her shit and people read it doesn't mean she should quit writing books. But I digress. I'm going to respond to your absolutely fucking dreadful video about Stephen King. You are more ridiculous than I once thought. You probably won't accept this as a response. You probably won't even watch it, and I know you won't respond to it because you can't stand someone actually pelting you with true facts, but I'm making this video anyway. I've made notes as it's easier for me to respond that way, so I'm going to be looking like, you know, this way. Stephen King doesn't need Stephanie Meyer's limelight, as you like to say, because he sold 300 to 350 million copies of his books, and he's been around since 1973. He doesn't need to usurp fame from a hack like Stephanie Meyer. And now I'm going to explain exactly why you need to go fuck off. Okay? I love how you act like 18 million copies is like a crazy high number when, as I'll reiterate, Stephen King's sold 300 to 350 million copies, which is a higher number than 18 million. I don't know if you can tell, but it is. And attention, public interest, movies, books, merchandise. I would now like to read you a list of media that has been made from the works of Stephen King. Carrie, Salem's Lot, The Shining, Creepshow, Cujo, The Dead Zone, Christine, Children of the Corn, Firestarter, Cat's Eyes, Silver Bullet, Maximum Overdrive, Stand By Me, Creepshow 2, A Return to Salem's Lot, The Pet Cemetery, The Cat from Hell, Graveyard Shift, Misery, It, Sleepwalkers, The Dark Half, Needful Things, The Lawnmower Man, The Shawshank Redemption, The Mangler, Dolores Claiborne, Thinner, Apt Pupil, The Green Mile, The Rage, Carrie 2, Hearts in Atlantis, Dreamcatcher, Secret Window, Riding the Bullet, 1408, The Mist, let's see. I could just keep going and tell you the television shows and the short films and the direct-to-video and some comic books, but I'm just going to stop there and leave you with just the movies that's been made from the works of Stephen King. Yeah, man, Twilight and Stephanie kicked the shit out of that list. I mean, their list is way longer. And you can't judge a book just because it has big words and scares you off after 3 pages. I mean, that's kind of rude, since you haven't actually read a Stephen King novel. And might I say, you fucking Benedict Arnold, how dare you tell someone not to shout their mouth off about hating Twilight when you have a whole goddamn YouTube channel devoted to doing just that same thing with your ignorant mouth? I can't tell you enough to shut up. I mean, I can't stand the ignorance that pours out of that hole in your face. You keep talking about fucking Limelight for no good goddamn reason. He doesn't need Stephenie Meyer's puny piece of fame. He's got his own. And you ask why he was, saying these things and why he would attack Stephenie Meyer. He was being interviewed. He didn't just come out of it. Stephen King would have no reason to just come out and say something about Stephenie Meyer. He has better things to do, which is probably writing another really amazing book. So, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. And he doesn't need to aim to any certain audience, as, the fucking intelligent people of the world are his audience. He doesn't have a central group of people he writes for. And repeating shit doesn't make it true facts. Edward doesn't want to see what it's like to sleep because he spent his entire human life sleeping before he was a vampire. It never even says that. He goes because he's confused as to why he can't read Bella's mind. But that still doesn't change the fact that he is stalking, and it is illegal. And it's wrong, whether she wants him to do it or not. And it is sexual. The book is sexual, because on Bella's side, she spends the whole series trying to get in his pants and marry him and boink him. That's all she wants to do is boink him. And are we even reading the same book? I mean, seriously, are we reading the same book? The only sexual thing about their whole relationship is, in fact, the whole relationship. That's what Bella, like I said, that's what Bella wants to do the whole time, is get in his pants. How is that not sexual? I don't understand. Right there, when you start talking about Stephen King's nose, that's when I start to see red and want to find you and beat your fucking face in. Which, by the way, I'm not a violent person. I don't get angry and yell like this. I'm very mad. I don't cuss a lot. I am very angry at you right now. Because you don't fucking attack someone's physical being. Looking the way you do, and looking the way Stephenie Meyer does, and hearing all the man the harpoons all the time. Shut the hell up! Seriously! I mean, I got teased when I was little. I'm fat, and I don't know why you would think that's right to say something about somebody's nose and talk about how he looks. Anyway, and his books are good, and he can actually criticize Stephenie Meyer. Even if they weren't good, he still has the right to criticize anybody he wants. People are human, and as Americans, or people, as humans, we have the right to say whatever the fuck we want to come out of our mouth. That's why we have a mouth. Is that right?
Yes.
Thank you. And he didn't attack her at all, and it was actually highly professional. If Stephenie was any kind of professional author at all, she would A, be a good author, B, tell her fans to stop being so knucking futs, and C, not be a brat and finish writing Midnight Sun. How dare you question his professionalism? And stop talking about Stephen King's books being boring. They're not boring just because you need a fucking dictionary to read them. And your opinion is the one not wanted. The entire fucking internet agrees with me. So how about you kindly GTFO and STFU, you fucking moron. Thanks. Oh yeah. Live long and prosper.